to prove legal status at that point when there is also reasonable suspicion, which under that particular statute, the section you're referring to is illegal human trafficking. So the whole thing has been blown out of proportion, and my position is that those who would rely on racial profiling as a way to say no to this bill are generally open border, pro-amnesty supporters in the first place. But I'll take it even one step further. I don't know how much time I have here, but one step further, that I'm calling tonight, and I'm asking my opponents to support me, to require all state licensed companies to use the E-Verify system in determining the status of a legal worker.
Yeah, I'd like to commend Todd for bringing this to the forefront of this campaign, because I basically agree with him. The federal government is not doing what it's supposed to be doing to protect us from illegal immigration, and it is costing us as Floridians a tremendous amount of money. But it is a solution, and we need a solution here in Florida. So I'm going to be watching very carefully how that law plays out, how the litigation goes, and we may need to do something in the next legislative session or the one after that to address this very, very expensive and important problem.
I am opposed to the adoption of Arizona-style immigration reform in Florida, and I'll give you 4 reasons. 2 of them relate to basic Republican principles that we all recognize. The first is this is more government, not less government. And the second is this is less personal freedom, not more personal freedom. There are 2 other reasons why I think this is a bad piece of legislation. One is that it's a duplication of services. These are services that are required to be provided by the federal government. We're paying for those services. They may not be adequately provided, but once we start a state program to duplicate those, it is very difficult to get that program off the books. And fourth, as an ex-prosecutor, I won't go into the technical reasons, but prosecuting is a criminal matter, a status crime of someone for their citizenship is nearly impossible. Finally, I would point out one good thing about this bill. There has been such an uproar about it in the press and in political circles that some good may come of it because it may force the federal government to act and solve this problem. That's a good one.
All right, Jan, thanks a lot. Todd, you wanted everybody.
12 states in the nation are implementing a requirement for E-Verify now. And what's another study that came out from the Center for Immigration Studies, Arizona implemented E-Verify with its private corporations, and within a year of implementing E-Verify, the state's immigration basically saw a 33% self-deportation to other states that aren't enforcing strictly immigration laws.
You know, we're not talking about E-Verify here. E-Verify is a fantastic program. It's been part of, I believe, every federal bill which has been proposed over the last few years, and I would hate to support it, but it's part of Obama's proposed bill that's coming up next year. I mean, we're all, as employers, going to have to E-Verify, and we're all going to face very severe penalties if we do not when the federal government finally does address this issue. As far as the costs go, I just want to point out this is a bill that criminalizes at the state level those who do not have the status of legal immigrants. What do we think we're going to do with those people once they're prosecuted? We can't deport them. That's a federal issue. We're going to have to put them in jail or run them through our criminal justice system. If we're looking at costs and expenses, I would just submit to you, take a look at what that will cost if we run all these people through that system and house them in correctional facilities.
Again, thanks a lot. Now, by my count, okay,